We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, we will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Show of Support Hunt for Heroes is made possible through a partnership with Pioneer Natural Resources, Boss Blinds, Kel-Tec, Tico Field Service, Double J Ranches, CBT Charities, and Christmas for our troops. Heroes, hook sets, and high fives.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's springtime in Texas, down on the border of Mexico, where largemouth bass can stretch the limits of a fisherman's skill.
A little bite.
It's tournament time, where American heroes are matched up with the best bass fishermen in Texas on a legendary body of water.
I got one. Come on, come on, come on. Yes.
Nice.
Good fish, good fish. There he is. Oh! Got her? Give me some, baby!
Covering 67,000 acres and more than 800 miles of shoreline, Lake Amistad these days is a mere shadow of itself. Thanks to the worst drought in the history of the Southwest, Amistad lies on the U.S.-Mexican border, and years of desert bone-dry conditions have reduced the famous fishing spot to an all-time low. Even with levels dropping every day, the fishing is still phenomenal. The desert scenery is exceptional, and there's nowhere else in the world that'd rather have this tournament to raise funds for Show of Support than right here.
You don't ever go up to the mountains and go fishing or anything?
No,
Why?
because they don't have bass up in the mountains.
Ah.
Goodness sake. Josh Wendland, Roger Ruiz, and Jeremy Smith. Three of the heroes that Terry Johnson invited to hunt in this annual tournament.
I just want to welcome all of you, you soldiers here, your American heroes. This organization is very dear to my heart, so Guys, I'm glad y'all are here. I'm proud that you can make the fishing tournament. Terry, thank you for putting everything together and getting them here. Good to see you again too, Rusty.
Yeah, I'll start out. This is Joshua Wendland,
How y'all doing? Thank you.
Roger Ruiz, Jeremy Smith.
Mark Mabe is the organizer who spearheads this 110-boat bass tournament each year. Every penny raised goes to Show of Support's effort to take more American heroes hunting.
First got up there, it was just overwhelming. Everyone kind of shake your hand and ask you how you're doing, and then they present you and they give you all these rods, reels, anything you can imagine that would help you for these 2 days. They go above and beyond.
Will and Bruce presented us with our own rod and reel and a backpack full of gear and, you know, some goodies to help get us along on the trip. We were more than ecstatic.
As they pair up with their fishing guides, organizers take care of last-minute logistics. On this Friday afternoon in April, there is one more detail to work out.
Is any of y'all gonna be fishing in Mexico? Okay, all right, good. Just want to make sure that we got Mexican fishing license is what I'm getting at. So
It's here when folks who never fished Amstead fully realize this is a huge lake. 5:30 comes early as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us. Sunrise in the desert always seems to break earlier than anywhere else in the world. Lake Amstead, the old man of the Southwest, a place where even drought can dampen the reputation of this fishing mecca. Lake levels are dropping, but largemouth bass still reign supreme here, like it was for years.
So clear, it's completely different from any other place that I've ever fished before.
United States Marine Roger Ruiz has been paired up with tournament fisherman Nathan Maston. Nathan's fished this lake for years, and as long as he can still put the boat in the water, he's going to call this his favorite lake in the world.
I absolutely love to fish. It's a way to get away from the realities of life for a couple hours, you know, out on the lake, you know.
Army Sergeant First Class Josh Wendland is the most experienced fisherman among the heroes spread out across this lake. His guide is Steve Mann. Steve knows this lake like the back of his hand, and he's not intimidated by 109 other boats in the tournament.
So the fishing was slow this morning. It was a cool morning. Having trouble with the reel, having trouble with the casting, but we got it down.
Army Staff Sergeant Jeremy Smith is new to all this. His guide, Wes Medford, drove more than 6 hours to pair up with a hero, even after he heard the winds would be gusting at 30 miles per hour. Jeremy hunted with Show of Support just a few months before this tournament. Jeremy says, when you live in Pennsylvania, coming to the Texas desert is like a dream come true. Only thing is, this dream, in some ways, is about to become a nightmare.
What's the worst you've seen of winds out here, Wes?
A couple years ago, it got up to about 30 when the lake was full, and it got scary. I mean, it was like being on the ocean. Thought we were going to turn the boat over. The only time I've ever been scared in a boat.
All seems to be going well, although the fishing is a little slow this morning. The next thing Jeremy knows, his guide has got his hands full in the back of the boat.
I don't know what Wes is doing. He got himself in a whole heap of trouble back there. So while he's untangling his line, I just decided to keep fishing.
We're gonna pull up on the bank. Got all sorts of line wrapped around the motor. I don't know how that managed to happen, but it did. Oh. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
I hop off the boat so I can at least walk around on shore and fish while he tends to his line and cuts it free out of his boat propeller. He was not a happy camper. He was not having fun over there trying to untangle that. He had his pocket knife out. He was cutting line, spooling it up in his hand.
Things are about to get from bad to worse. Wes finally frees his monofilament bird nest from the prop.
Stuck in the corner of this little cove. Now he's hopped out of the boat so he can push it out of the cove because he got it stuck.
If Wes can be fast on the trolling motor, he can get away from the shoreline before the wind blows him back in. Not one fish in the live well, and they're about worn out. Wes has got one more favorite spot he'd like to try. Only thing is, for some reason, his troubles are about to get worse.
I can pull the start battery out here and you can use it to get you started.
I might be able to use one of these trolling motors, but it's half dead too.
Seems the batteries are all drained, leaving them dead in the water. Good thing is, help is close by, but it's going to be another open water mechanical nightmare.
Those winds today pushed the equipment to its limits. It's no easy ordeal. At least a half an hour of fiddling and hassling with battery cables and swapping batteries.
You ready?
Yep.
We're dead.
Their only chance is to get to an old dock.
Fishing's pretty much done for us. We figure we're just down on our luck, and that's it. We're gonna call it quits.
We sure appreciate it.
Wasn't a dull day.
No, that it wasn't.
Enough misery for one day. More heroes somewhere else on the lake. We'll check their luck as Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
There you go.
Nice.
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and my whole family, they always fished freshwater, saltwater. It's an island, so everywhere you want to go, you can fish. It's just right around the corner.
180.
I've never been in a fishing tournament before. I fished before, but not at this level.
Yeah. Good one. Yeah. Good fish.
Roger Ruiz makes a pretty good hand when it comes to a fish big enough to win a tournament.
Very good fish. Hang on. Yeah, hang on.
Fishing guide Nathan Maston has his hands full battling Lake Amstead monster. Their day on Amstead has started well.
Got her? Give me some, baby! Put her in the right side. We ain't even got to put a tag on her. Woo!
5 of those in the live well would do well for this tournament. The drought can do funny things to a lake, and later on Roger finally feels the sluggish resistance that comes from a big fish.
There you go. Whoa.
The first feeling was that I got stuck because we were moving. And then when it just took off and took down, I was like, oh, it was just impressive. Everyone just turned around and just stopped what they were doing to figure out what it was that we caught.
Big striper.
It was disappointing it wasn't a bass, huge bass. That would have been awesome, but when it was a striper, it was the biggest fish of the day though. Other than bass, it was the biggest other kind of fish, so it was pretty good. It was a great feeling being able to catch that on the first day.
Does that one count? No, but that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Golly.
It didn't count for the tournament, but it was a great catch.
This is strictly a largemouth tournament, but they both relish this moment nonetheless.
I was deployed to Afghanistan for a year-long tour. We were about 10-15 minutes away from the FOB when a suicide vehicle detonated right on my vehicle. Detonated on the front tire It was carrying 440 pounds of explosive. It blew up on our truck. It basically folded the truck in half, a huge MATV, and it knocked all of us unconscious. It killed 6 local nationals, and right after that, we had the Brits. They were the ones that provided a quick reaction force. They came and picked us up within 30-45 minutes.
The extent of Roger's injuries kept him from ever returning to combat. His progress and recovery led him here to this tournament, to laugh out loud, put his face in the wind, and feel the sun again.
Oh, that's a better fish.
Army veteran Josh Winland knows his way around a bass boat. He handles another big largemouth for the live well.
I definitely appreciate you taking me out here, man. You know, people always ask, how do you do what you do in the Army? Truly, if you think about it, man, there's no better job for a guy, especially straight out of high school. You get paid to work out, you get paid to blow crap up, you get paid to eat.
Josh's recovery from his injuries have been remarkable, and like so many who have worn the uniform of the United States Army, Josh's story is one of nothing short of triumphant.
In 2005, 2006, I was exposed to over 13 IEDs. There was a vehicle out driving, so we pulled it over and we were getting out to go search it. And as we're walking up to the vehicle, an IED went off about 30 meters away from us, and it blew me into a block wall. And that's where I injured my back.
It's a crowded place here at the Diablo East Loading Ramp on the shores of Lake Amistad. It's been a long day of fishing, and there's 110 boats lined up to see who walks away with first place at this desert fishing tournament.
It was a ton of fun when we actually got to bring our fish in and officially weigh them in for the tournament. Just watching all these guys come in with big smiles and bags of fish, and you know, just it was really cool to watch that.
Seems Jeremy Smith and his guide did finally get something in the live well, but it was far from first place.
I'm dog beat tired, but I wish we had about 2 more hours left to fish. I could always fish for an extra hour or 2.
962.
That's better than we thought.
Josh Winland and his guide won't win first place, but their weigh-in results is a respectable number.
In your experience, I did not know how the weigh-in process went. Everyone shows up very coordinated. You don't have no one trying to argue the way up to the front or nothing. It's such great sportsmanship. Basically pull up, you get your bag, fill it up with water, you pull your 5 fish that are going to be counted for the tournament. You take them up, they get your number, they weigh them.
1274.
Roger Ruiz, like the other guys here, are completely exhausted after battling the bass in the blistering wind. Their day has just begun.
Thank you. On behalf of the men and women of the military that allow functions like this to continue, I accept your gratitude in their honor. You people have created an unbelievable opportunity for some very, very special people. They appreciate it, they get a lot out of it, we get a lot out of it. I like to say it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, we're going to start off with the wood carving. Where's our wood carving? He'll give me 500, I got 500 over here.
The money raised here will go to introducing more American heroes to the great outdoors. 110 teams of Texas fishermen, burned by the sun and battered by the wind. They gather here to pay unbelievable sums of money for items they could easily find in a catalog. Guns and more guns and knives are sold as quick as they can be lifted into the air. They sell guns here because they can. They sell guns here because people buy them. They sell guns here because this is Texas and this is part of life. The veterans gathered here are overwhelmed with this support. This too is part of what it means to live in Texas. Texas is where you'll find people like Terry Johnson and Mark Mabe. And it's also where you find a Yeti cooler filled with hunting and fishing gear that's about to be sold for $10,000.
See what's in that box? I want to know.
Are you sure?
Brian just donated that box back. He's giving us $10,000.
Brian Knight, give him a hand.
Brian Knight, thank you very much. And we're going to do this all over again. And we still don't know what's in that box.
Late night, guys.
There have been times over the past few months when Terry Johnson worried whether carrying on the show of support was the right thing to do. November 15th, 2012 took its toll on a lot of folks. None more than Terry. He will forever carry that burden. But tonight, a standing ovation and a record-breaking fundraising comes as a collective embrace from the people of Texas who have spoken and loud and clear have said, show of support should never stop.